All right, this is a brief rundown on navigating the digital gauge cluster and the infotainment center on a Toyota Tacoma. Here you're going to have menu navigation as well as media volume controls, volume up, down, making voice commands for either your Apple or Android Auto, and answering phone calls from the steering wheel. To go back on the menu after you've gone through and you want to get back to the main home page, the back button will remove this. You've got 3 different menus that you can go through as far as the information that is on the left and right speedometer, tachometer, which can be adjusted here. And then you have the ability to change the information that you have on the screen here by holding OK. And then you can go to either the left or right and adjust the information that you see here, whether it be blank, your eco indicator, built-in navigation for a compass, what you're listening to currently, where the traction is going in your car if you're in like 4 low for A track, for instance. Auxiliary gauges, any information that's important for you to be able to view, you can have here. So I personally like to do navigation, and then on the right side, I'll have my fuel economy. You can do driving support, which is your adaptive cruise mode. You can switch over to standard cruise control as well if you're in drive. You can have navigation on this side if you want like a turbo cluster or anything like that on the right side. Your drive info, trip odometers, tire pressure, pitch and roll for if you are off-roading, trailer mode, and engine and oil temp. So it's nice that you get the 3 in the middle here that you can rotate between. So if you're off-roading, you can have your off-road clusters. Just driving on the road, you can have just your compass and, for instance, your fuel economy. So it's very customizable in this way. All right, today we're going to go over some of the basics when it comes to what you're looking at on your steering wheel, your digital cluster, your button options, as well as your infotainment center. On the left side of the steering wheel is your digital dash navigation. To go back on your menu options, answer phone calls, make voice commands for Android or Apple CarPlay, and control your media volume. On the right side of the steering wheel, we have mode for different radio options, changing radio stations or songs if you're listening to like Spotify, Pandora, cruise control to engage for your lane tracing assistance. This is to increase or decrease speed on cruise control and to cancel cruise control. Here is for your adaptive cruise control to adjust the length from traffic from 1 car length, 1.5 car length, 2 car lengths away, as well as being able to adjust your cruise control mode, whether you'd rather have standard cruise control, where you make your adjustments on speed, or adaptive cruise control, where the car understands that you are approaching a vehicle and will slow down to the rate of traffic. With adaptive cruise control, you also get lane centering. So while you're on the road, it's as simple as just keeping your hand on the steering wheel, having some form of control, and the car will essentially drive through the lanes and do its best to keep you in the center of the lane while on a long distance road trip. On the digital gauge here, with the left controls, you can adjust what you see on your menus. There's 3 different menus for you to go through as far as what information you're seeing on this screen. For number 1, I like to have it on my standard drive, what I like to see, which would be the navigational compass, as well as my miles per gallon. You can hold OK and go right or left to adjust what you see up here. So for instance, on my next screen here, if what I find is important to me is my turbo gauge, my eco indicator, what I'm listening to, the auxiliary gauges, these things are what you can have displayed in the second screen. Again, if you're just wanting to know a little bit more about your car in your driving. You can do the fuel economy, driving support. You'll see on the right side, there are different options than the left side. It again just makes it a little bit more customizable and catered to each driver individually. You can do your drive info for just standard current trip. Trip A, Trip B. You do get the option to reset these as well. You can see where your tire pressure's at. Pitch and roll, again, for more of like an off-roading. Trailer modes, so if you're a tower, you know, you can, again, have your auxiliaries while towing at the same time. Have your turbo gauge on while you're towing. Just, again, things that you want to make sure that you're monitoring while you're driving. And then the third one, because this is a TRD off-road, you want to have your, off-road on there where you can see your angles as well as the traction there. The button clusters over here are where you can level your headlights if you're trying to go up a hill or just maintain like traditional standard road light level. Adjust the brightness on your dash. Your automatic high beams, so if you have this on and your high beams on, as soon as your car starts to detect that you're approaching a vehicle or a vehicle is approaching you, it will just shut off those high beams for you. Keeps you more hands-free and focused on the road. Traction control, as well as your bed lights. You get different drive modes with your car, which is the standard mode that it's in, where on the fly, you can adjust between eco, normal, and sport mode. All this can be done while you're driving. Eco modes for those long distance road trips, just maintaining one set rate of speed, normal for the day-to-day driving. And that sport mode is going to help you pass larger vehicles and things like that on the interstate, essentially giving you a little bit more of a response on the acceleration, as well as longer shift pattern, and a little bit of a tighter steering response to give you that sport feel. Multi-terrain select and crawl control are things that you'll use when you're engaged in 4 low. In 4 low, you have to put the car into neutral and then switch to 4 low, put it back into drive, and you'll see it lock into place. 4 high is something that you can switch on the fly. So while you're driving anywhere between 0 to, I'd say, like 45 miles an hour, you just press this little silver and switch over. You'll start to see the 4 high flash. Once that locks into place, that means you are in 4 high. Your rear locking differential, just in case if you really get stuck and none of this is working, also in 4 low is when you'd apply your rear locking differential. You have an electronic parking brake in this car. The electronic parking brake automatically engages and disengages once you put the car into drive or take it into park. It is essentially also an emergency brake. So if you pull up on this, it's like pulling up on the emergency brake in the event that your brakes are not working. Brake hold is for if you're stuck in 5 o'clock traffic, anything like that, where you have to hold the brake for a long period of time. As long as your safety restraint's on, you can hit this button, and while your foot is applied to the brake, it will hold the brake for you. So you can take your foot off the brake, it will maintain that brake for you until either the time runs out, which I believe is like 45 seconds to a minute, or you press the gas. This one comes with 2 quick chargers, as well as a digital port. That digital port is for if you want to use Apple and Android CarPlay, but you don't want to connect to Bluetooth. This is a way for you to be able to do that. Going over your settings on the dash here, for me, this screen is pretty bright with the white setting. So what I like to do is I'll go into my display, switch it to dark, and then it just stays on dark mode for me. You can have it on automatic, so when your auto lights kick on, it detects that it's dark enough, it's going to switch over to dark mode. I just like to keep mine on dark mode. You can also go into Vehicle Customize and switch around your lights for the auto on sensitivity. You can do it to where when it's brighter out, it will switch over, darker out, it will switch over, or just normal. The auto off timer, so when you walk out of the car, it takes 30 seconds for the vehicle to shut off the lights. You can shut that off, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, or when you walk out of the car, you just hit the lock button twice and it will shut off those lights for you. You do also get the option to just shut your daytime running lights off if you don't want them on all the time. Everything's pretty customizable. Door control, so it'll auto lock and auto unlock when you shift from park and to park. You can do it by speed, so once you get up to a certain speed, it's going to start to lock. 2-press unlock, or just a single press unlock. And then your smart key access, you can unlock driver's door only, or when you go to unlock your car just by grabbing the handle, you can switch it to all doors unlock as well. All right, that's the TRD off-road cluster of buttons on the steering wheel, as well as a little brief snapshot of what's going on that infotainment as well. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any other questions, want to learn anything else about these cars. Thanks for your time. My name is Michael Price with Peterson Toyota. Have a great day.